Join me on my Emirates Business Class flight from LAX to Athens. From LA to Athens was 16 hours, plus I got to enjoy a 24-hour layover in Dubai. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes of all of it. This is my very first international trip, and an international solo trip at that. So you know I had to go all out and treat myself. So stay tuned because I'm giving you behind the scenes all access from the boarding to the Emirates Lounge, which I've always dreamed of, the business class experience, and everything in between. But first, the journey actually starts at home because when you fly business or first class with Emirates, they send a driver or a chauffeur to pick you up from your home and take you to the airport. If you've been to LAX, or actually scratch that, any airport experience, you know that it can be stressful, but Emirates made the check-in process so smooth. Got up to the counter, checked in my bag, and because I have clear and TSA pre-check, literally from the check-in process to TSA, it was 10 minutes flat. Like, it was unbelievable how quick and seamless the process was. After that, I made my way over to the Emirates Lounge, which I always pass by and visualize myself going into one day, and it finally happened. So I'm so excited to take you inside. Now, I'm no stranger to an airport lounge. I have a Delta Sky Miles card, so whenever I fly domestic, I do that. I also have the Amex Centurion Lounge access, so I love a good lounge. But let me tell you, Emirates, they live up to their reputation 100,000%. You go in there and they got lamb chops, they have salmon, champagne, wine, desserts, prawns. Like, they literally have anything you could think of or you might be craving in that moment. And it's basically all you can eat. But I had already done my research on what to expect on my Emirates flight, so I knew that I was going to get fed 3-course meals throughout that whole experience. So I didn't want to stuff my face, even though the temptation was very much there. But yes, everything was top notch and exactly what you would imagine for Emirates Lounge. There's all kind of desserts, fruit medleys, fresh squeezed juices. They even had some tartare there, which I don't mess with raw foods, but you know, if that's your thing, then they have it for you. Whatever your taste, they had something for you there. When I was in the lounge, I met this Argentine doctor. So as far as networking goes, you will definitely find some people in there that are at the top of their field, and we got to chatting. Turns out we were on the same flight, so we walked over to the gate together. Now onto the actual flight. This is my first time flying business class, so I don't know how it works usually in airlines, but at Emirates, first and business class, they board from a different area than economy and premium economy. We did not even interact, and this particular aircraft was an A380. So that's one thing to definitely note, is which aircraft you're actually flying, because if you're like me and you want a true window seat, you're going to want to pick an A or a K seat. Other seats like E and F, they're in the middle row of the plane and you will sit next to somebody. So I was traveling solo. I wasn't trying to sit next to anybody. If you're with your friends or traveling as a couple, then that might be good. But if you're solo traveling, do your research on the seating map of the aircraft that you'll be flying. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into this seat. Walking down this beautiful Emirates aisle was a dream come true. Like I said, I've been visualizing and manifesting this moment forever. For it to actually be here, it lived up to all of my expectations and then some. Well, at least the A380 did. I'll talk about my experience on their other aircraft, the 777, a little later. So this is the seat, and when you arrive, you will see your pillow, a blanket, eye mask, and headphones waiting for you. During boarding, they have pre-flight champagne. If you don't drink, they have apple juice and orange juice waiting for you. I, of course, had the welcome champagne because why not? And they also give you a menu upon you seating. So that's one of the first things, is they take your full order. So once the plane takes off, you get served your first meal of the flight. One thing I learned about Emirates, that each menu is inspired by the destination that you're headed. And I thought that was really fascinating. So when you sit down, they give you a warm towel to wipe your hands. You know, when they hand you a small warm towel, you already know what's about to go down and what type of experience you are in for. Shortly after that, they bring your amenities kit. Stick around to the end to see what's in it. I'll do a little unboxing on that, or unbagging, I guess. And pretty soon it was time to take off. Emirates has an incredible collection of thousands of movies, shows, music that you can listen to. Now, low-key, I'm the type of person that likes to just watch the flight map when I'm on a flight, but this flight was 16 hours, so there's no way I was going to do that for the whole time. So I decided to find a few things to watch. So the TV, first of all, I would say 20 or 22 inches if I had to guesstimate. It's touchscreen, of course, for you to control, or if you just wanted to sit back, lay back, and relax the whole time, like I did, they have remote controls as well. So I decided to watch this George Michael documentary since I am obsessed with anything 80s. So that kept me entertained, and I decided to explore other parts of my seat. One thing that really stood out to me was the amount of storage was unbelievable. Each business class passenger gets these 2 cubbies, and here you can see my mattress topper, which was soon used to make my bed. A while after the flight took off, I asked for my bed to be made so I can relax. Soon after that, it was time for my first meal. You get 3 courses, appetizer, entree, and dessert. So I chose this corn soup, and I wasn't really expecting much, but oh my god, when I tell you this was so bomb, like everything. The bread was fresh and warm and fluffy. The salad was giving, even though I don't like salad, it was still good. And after that, it was so hard for me to choose my entree. Everything sounded so bomb, but I decided to stick with this chicken lemon piccata pasta. It was so good. And as you can see, the cutlery is real. They have real cutlery on this flight. I come from Biscoff cookies and a water bottle type of flight, so this just blew my mind. So remember what I said earlier about not wanting to stuff my face like I never been anywhere at the lounge? Well, I'm so glad that I didn't, and I took my own advice because I was so stuff. Like, let me tell you. Okay, side note, sorry, I'm a tangent type of person. I am a slow eater, so that is why my meal started when it was light out, and now you see it's kind of dark in the background is because I didn't have dessert until maybe an hour and a half later. I had this cheesecake chocolate marble cake, and I asked for a cappuccino. After that, I got up to see the rest of the plane before I went to sleep because best believe I was gonna knock out after that meal. I mean, they feed you so much. So when you're flying Emirates, as I mentioned earlier, business and first class, they're on the top floor. And in the back of the top floor of this aircraft, there is a lounge. Like, there is a whole lounge, like you're going to the bar. There's seating, there's an open bar, there's snacks if you get hungry in between your 3-course meals. Like, they really got you. Like, they treat you like royalty. And the staff, they were so kind. I told them it was my first international flight, and they let me wear the Emirates hat. And you see all those top shelf bottles behind me, but I'm a lightweight, so I didn't even drink. I only had that welcome champagne that they gave me in the beginning, so I wanted to be completely present for this experience. So you have to pass by this lounge to get to the restroom, and let's do a little tour of that because no detail was left out. They have a reputation for a reason. So let's get into this restroom situation. I do want to preface this by saying I absolutely hate public restrooms, and I try to avoid using airplane restrooms especially, but this was a 16-hour flight. It was impossible. There was no way I was going to avoid going, but I'm happy to report because it is Emirates and they uphold themselves to a standard. It was very clean, and they have so many amenities even in the restroom. They have dental kits, lotion. Let's check out this water pressure. Yes, they got that hot water. They have those many towels and Bulgari perfume, his and hers. I was like, okay, Emirates with the Bulgari perfume in the restroom. They have feminine products, razors, no detail was spared. Face towels. So by this time, it's already the middle of the night, and they have this mood lighting. I went to sleep in my lie flat bed, and when I tell you I knocked out, I slept for 9 hours. 9 hours comfortably on a plane. Like, there were moments I forgot I was on a plane. I was so comfortable. After those 9 hours, I was awakened for breakfast. Now, this might not look the best, but it was actually pretty good. An omelet, I had orange juice, a little fruit medley, and a croissant. Once again, you receive your cutlery in the white linen, very top quality. My only complaint I would say about this particular meal is the omelet needed some type of seasoning or something. You know, Beyonce keeps hot sauce in her purse. I keep Lawry's and tahini, but unfortunately, I didn't have it on the flight. So that would be my only complaint. Oh, and actually this would be a higher complaint is there is no free Wi-Fi on this flight. So I feel that is definitely worth noting. You would think at this price point that you would have Wi-Fi included, but nope, it's an extra $20. But you know what? This forced me to be in the moment because I was not bored for a single second on this flight. So it actually worked out. I was thoroughly entertained. I was thoroughly pleased with the entire experience. Now, as I promised earlier, let's get into what's in these amenities kit. We have an Emirates dental kit, which comes with toothbrush. The toothbrush has a cover on it. There is also a mini toothpaste. You also get a Bulgari face lotion, Bulgari lip balm, a mini perfume, Bulgari lotion. As you can tell, that is their partner for the airline. You also get a mini comb, deodorant, a little facial tissue, and a compact mirror. So after the 16 hours, which honestly flew by because I was so comfortable, I can't emphasize that enough. I literally did not want this flight to end. We arrived in Dubai. I had someone greet me at the airport because, listen, your girl gets easily lost, and I wanted the whole experience to just be stress-free. So I booked one of Emirates partners for a meet and greet service. They took me through the entire airport, got me my visa upon arrival, and took me to get a chauffeur who drove me to my hotel where I would spend my layover. This was the best layover I ever been on. Typically when I'm in the US, you get like 2 hours in Atlanta, but I was able to spend a full 24 hours in Dubai. I went to the Dubai Mall. The hotel I was staying at, they had a complimentary shuttle, so I got to explore a little bit. I got to see the Burj Khalifa, which is, if you didn't know, is the tallest building in the entire world. And in the morning, I woke up and went on an excursion in the desert where I got to ride a camel, ATV. I'd say it was the best layover in the history of layovers. Thank you, Emirates, for letting me experience a new city/country on the way to my actual destination of Athens. So let me tell you, Emirates, they are that airline in Dubai. Like when you pull up for business class, they have signs that say VIP drop off, and they have their own terminal. Again, it was a seamless experience. I had already checked in through the Emirates app, so I just pulled up, went through security, and went to their business lounge, which I'm going to do a separate video on because that was an experience in itself. Once again, business and first class board through different entrances, but overall, great food, great service. And this time from Dubai to Athens, it was about a 4-hour flight. So we got on a smaller aircraft, still business class, but it was not really the business class that I had got to know in the first leg of this experience. It was actually kind of jarring for me that I was sitting next to somebody when I had previously had my solo seat. So that's why I said earlier, it's so important for you to know which aircraft you're flying. Luckily, this is only a 4-hour connecting flight. And I sat next to the sweetest girl from Australia named Carla. Hey, Carl, if you're watching. And we still keep in touch to this day. So similar experience, they give you your welcome drink, but as you can see, it was not as luxurious as the A380. So that was definitely my favorite part. But overall, we had great food, great service, and I'm not even gonna lie, I slept for probably 3 out of the 4 hours of this flight. So I didn't get as much content as I did in the first leg of this experience. But I will say when we landed, it was pretty cool because Emirates has cameras all over the plane. And you could actually see what's happening in the back of the plane, what's happening underneath the plane. When you land, it's pretty cool to be able to see that. And of course, in front of the plane. Pretty soon, it was time to land in Athens, where I kicked off a month in Europe. Thank you so much for joining me. And let me know in the comments, did anything about this experience surprise you, or was it about what you imagined? Thanks for watching. Bye.